And we're out. We just arrived at the Fair Homes Visitor Centre, which we didn't know that it was actually this place because we always sort of come here, but we didn't quite know what the place is actually called. Okay, it's basically near Lady Bower and the dams here. So the plan is to aim for, what's it called? Howden Edge. Howden Edge, which is basically like a hill towards the end of the reservoir, and hopefully we can we haven't got a map with us, we haven't got a map for this area, but we'll have to get a set of maps for Peak District at some point. It looked really rubbish and miserable in the morning, so the place is pretty much deserted. If you consider coming here, if you get to the visitor centre, then you have to pay for parking, and I noticed on the way down that they started putting meters on some of the roadside car parks as well along the way, but most of them are still free just before the visitor centre. So if you don't want to be paying £4 or something for the car park, just stop off a little bit earlier just before the visitor centre. Okay, now if you're into your cycling, and you don't even have to be particularly fit, this place is a fairly good one to come to, because you have this path, essentially wide enough for a car, all the way around the reservoir, and it gets steep a little bit in certain places, but if you're not too comfortable with steep parts, you can always dismount your bike and push it for a little bit, but most of the time it's just nice and smooth, fairly level. If you want something more challenging, then I think I've seen people on Facebook go on top of the hills around the reservoir and so on, but you'd have to do a bit of research in terms of where the paths are and where you can go, where you can't go. And I know there are some walls and gates around, so that may make it a little bit awkward up there, but I'm sure if you do your research, you'll find a way. What's the Mitch Fest like?
Terrible. Don't sit down, I think that's okay.
So we're now off the main track which goes round the reservoir, and we're carrying on uphill through the foresty bit, hopefully up to the top, and hopefully we'll get to where we want to be. Looks like we're getting somewhere. Oh, nearly tripped over. Whoa, there's something big. And I don't know what it is. That is a big bird, and I have absolutely no idea what it is. Hmm? No, that was bigger. Yeah. I don't like these. Please take the leaflet. Inside there's only an empty. Yeah, full of fish. High peak. Okay, specialist. What are these?
He's a bookberry.
Bookberry. I don't know if the camera's going to catch it. There it is. There it is. Okay. It's edible. And oh, there's a frog. Tastes alright, by the way. I can't. It's there somewhere, but it's gone right under. So we just pretty much got to like a point where we can take a break. We're not really at the peak, but it's the grass for a change is quite short, and there are a few nice rocks to sit on. So just having a quick breather, having a drink, and absorbing the environment, so to speak.
There's 4Gs up here.
Yeah, there's 4G up here as well. Which network are you on?
Vodafone.
Okay, so if you're on Vodafone, there's 4Gs up here. You can watch YouTube and stream. Yeah, it's good. To give you an idea where we are, there in the distance is the reservoir. So we're pretty much at the top of Lady Bower, if you look at it. Also, I don't know, I'm not very good with navigation yet, and we haven't got a proper map with us. I suppose we could have a look on Google Maps, but that's not very well labelled for this area. But I think that's going to be Howden Edge, over there.
High Stones.
High Stones, you reckon, up there somewhere? Yeah. Okay. We're near the summit here. Don't really know what's on the other side. We didn't quite make it there yet, but that's the next thing to get up there. Another quick note. According to our GPS tracker thing, from the car park, which is, well, we parked just before the visitor centre, it's basically 4 miles from there up here where we are now. So we're near the summit. You can see that behind me. But I mean, the view's awesome. It's probably going to be better from the top. But basically, if you look down, okay, I'll turn the camera around and I'll zoom in. But these, no idea what this is supposed to be. It looks man-made, but I don't know, for livestock? Don't know. some more on that hill over there. Further over there. No idea. Well, can't see. So it's a bit breezy up here, not too bad, but hats and gloves on. We're trying to experiment with a bit of time-lapse shooting. So Jo's got her camera set up on her tripod while she's drinking coffee, and I've got mine shooting as well. Different modes. The D800's got a dedicated time-lapse function, whereas the D7000 just has an interval shooting function, which the D800 has as well, but we're just trying to figure out how to do it. I've never shot a time-lapse before, so quite excited really, because we just checked the time-lapse on the D800 because it finished, and it looks pretty cool. That's, at least to us, for a first time-lapse anyway. So we're just enjoying a bit of food, sandwiches with vegetarian bacon. We're not vegetarian, but vegetarian bacon is what we had in the fridge, so that's what we're having. Drink, coffee, squash, crisps, everything, yeah. Set up a new time lapse, longer this time, a bit longer than twice as long as the one that we previously recorded, just as a trial. So we're going to stick around here for another 45 minutes to an hour, and then I think we'll start heading back down. And we're going back onto the main footpath, road, whatever you want to call it. But it's so nice to actually walk on something that's level, straight, and that you can actually see, as opposed to just putting your foot down and hoping that underneath the grass and stuff is just actually something flat to lay your foot on. By the way, there's a fair bit of driftwood over there. So we're just on the way back and sort of noticed this dried up tree trunk, stump, whatever you want to call it. And obviously the tree's dead, but if you look up, something else growing like on top of it. Joe reckons it's probably a rhododendron, which is quite invasive and all over the place around the Peak District. Please don't rain. I don't really want to get wet now on the last mile. Yes! We made it! And we didn't even get wet, which is nice. So about to get to the car, change our boots for something more comfortable, something lighter, and then have some soup, and then off to Decathlon, hoping it's not shut yet. So, see you later. Now, aren't we lucky? Now, in this exact moment, Joe basically taking her boots off and us getting into the car, it starts to drizzle, so
Let's go. We have sheep coming towards us, lots of them. How awesome is that? So funny.
parking sensor's going mad.